Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hi, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you're back, welcome back. Tonight, I'm hopping on to do a WIP and Chat with all of you, and if you're not familiar with what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. So feel free to whip out your WIP and let's catch up a little bit. So I hope you're doing really, really well tonight. I am going to be diamond painting on one of my massive projects, which I do a lot of those, but I'll get into all those details here in just a moment. But first, I wanted to take a quick moment to extend a very, very special thank you to a couple of people that bought me a coffee this past week. And if I don't mean a literal coffee, you may or may not have seen other creators talk about Buy Me a Coffee, and it's just a service that is a way that you can support creators or really anyone that has a Buy Me a Coffee set up and just give them a little bit of that extra support. So this works really well if you don't necessarily want to sign up for a monthly subscription type option like my Patreon, which that is still going and we're having lots of fun over there. I'm actually just about to start asking for their help with deciding on what the heck kinds of unboxings to prioritize this week, but more on that later. If you're interested in checking that out, I have both Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee linked down below in the description. So anyway, two people bought me coffees this week, and I just want to take a moment to thank them, which is something I try to do in my WIP and Chats. So first, Brittany W bought me a coffee and left a comment that said, "Love your channel. So happy I came across it. Thank you for your videos and for being so open about your struggles. It sometimes helps to know you're not alone." Oh my gosh, I feel exactly the same way, Brittany. I value that in other creators, and I'm glad that it hopefully helps you feel less alone as well. And thank you so much for your support in buying me a coffee. And then also Diane's Diamond Painting and More. I'm guessing she has a channel. I've seen her comments on my videos before. She bought me 5 coffees. Oh my goodness, Diane. I am well caffeinated and ready to tackle this WIP and Chat now. Diane didn't leave a comment on the actual Buy Me a Coffee page, but I did see her comment from a couple of days ago saying congrats on 5,000 subscribers. I love your videos and I'll keep on watching. And I sent some coffee, and that is my way of saying congrats. So thank you so much, Diane. That was so, so sweet of you. And I will mention here, like I always like to when things like this come up, you're never ever expected to support my channel in these additional ways, but it is very, very much appreciated, and I don't want to downplay that. So let's get into the project that I'm working on tonight. So if you've been around for a little bit, you might be able to recognize just from the sheer amount of confetti and overall watercolor effect of this piece. I am once again working on the diamond painting Deutschland version of Spirit of Flight from the artist Josephine Wall. Tonight I am using, this is a pen that I got from Donna Bass. She has a group on Facebook, and I think that I won this one in one of the random comment picker drops. But it's so dangerous and fun for fidgeting because it's one of these captive ring pens. It's my one and only at the moment, and I've always kind of wanted one, and now all I want to do is just like fidget with it when I get bored. This is a really, really beautiful pen. I have a thin metal multi-placer here on the end that is from AliExpress and the Sleepy Cat store. I get asked about it a lot. It is going to be linked along with all of the other things that I mentioned in the description below. I am trying out something a little bit new in this lately, where normally my ride or die in my multi-placer is Quake Hold Museum putty. But I decided to branch out a little bit and remembered that I have this scented putty from, I believe it's the shop Sensible by Design, and it's a Canadian shop. I had ordered from a few different Canadian shops and had them shipped to my friend Bev, and then she put them all in one big package and sent it to me. So that's what I'm using in my multi-placer. In my single placer, I actually need to load this. I am currently testing out WeWax 3.0. Laura over at Anxiety Art Adventures is the one that makes WeWax, and she is always looking for ways that she can improve, and so she's launching her 3.0 version that I believe she's planning to have go live in her August drop, which I think will be the first Friday in August. But she did send out testers to a couple of people just, I think, to get some sort of final feedback and thoughts. I've been using it, and actually since I got it in, I unboxed it last night in my mail haul video, and I've been using it for the past day and a half, and I actually am really liking it. I'm just being really particular about how I'm loading it. I'm sort of learning how to load it. So Laura, if you're watching, don't panic. I'm just being like really, really extra about how I'm loading this. It's really not this difficult. I just am being a spaz about it right now. But no, I'm seriously loving it. I have been using it for, like I said, I started using it last night, and it's much stickier for me and lasting much longer than the WeWax 2.0. So I'm really excited for this new formula, and I think you guys should stay posted on it as well. So, I love to leave this open just because it smells so good. This is one of my newest minders from Agnes Little Minders. It's a baby dragon, and I can't really very well use, well, never mind, doesn't matter. And then this tray is from La Douceur d'une Plume, another Canadian shop. So I haven't used this one in a little while, and I thought I'll use this one because it's a smaller tray. This is so confetti heavy. I don't need a large tray for multi-placing. Okay, did I cover everything? I think I covered everything. Like I said, I'll link all the things below. Let's get into it. I'm opening up a new section with you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the way that I've sectioned off this canvas is that there's these really sort of faint grid lines that run through and divide this into squares, like of, 10 by 10 drills, almost like a cross stitch chart, I think. And so each of the squares that I work on, it just works out really well to divide up the canvas into like 5 by 5 squares. I don't know why I felt the need to go into all that detail, but there we have it. So let's get started. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope you're doing really, really well. I am doing pretty well for the moment. Oh my gosh, I haven't used this in a while. It has a little bit of give to it, actually. Huh. Like you can almost bend it. But I don't want to hurt it. Okay. So, I am really feeling on a roll with this Josephine Wall project. Like, I'm really, really thoroughly enjoying it and found myself continuing to reach for it. I am over halfway done with both kits. And yes, I have filmed the comparison for that video, the video comparison for that halfway point mark. But I am trying to spread those videos out a bit. And so that'll go up, I don't know, maybe this week, probably next week. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this, like, a lot. Oh, before I forget, I want to make sure I say this at the beginning. There are a number of other creators that have mentioned this lately, and I want to, like, go ahead and include this note as well, because I feel like it's been particularly bad the past couple of weeks. But YouTube is having a major issue lately with eating comments. And I am not entirely sure what it is in people's comments that are like triggering YouTube to eat them. But what I mean by that is that like YouTube is just deleting those comments within a minute after they've been posted, and it's not like holding them for review. So like if you post a comment and there's something slightly questionable in it, often if you include a hashtag in your comment or something like that, YouTube will just automatically flag that for review, and then the YouTube channel owner, like the content creator, has to go in and look at the comments that have been held for review and either like check and say, yes, this comment's legit, or no, delete, or, block or whatever. But it's not doing this. It's letting the comment go up for a minute, and then it's just wiping the comment entirely. And then sometimes, like just happened to me recently, it'll randomly put those comments back up. They'll just appear weeks or months later. This poor girl, is Tracy or Terry, I think is her name. This happened to several comments of hers, and when one of her comments finally like didn't get deleted by YouTube, I like commented on there and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this comment stayed. Your comments keep disappearing and I want you to know that I am not deleting them. Like that, but I can't do anything about it. I have contacted YouTube and they said it is a known issue and they just like collected as much information from me as, you know, as I could offer. And it's so weird. And I think the reason that we even know that it's happening is that, like, for me, I will get an email notification or even a push notification from YouTube with like the text of the comment that someone has left. And then I'll go to click on that or go to the video to try to find that comment, and it's just not there. It's gone. It's been eaten by YouTube. And you know, so since I get like an email notification about it and so I can read what the content of their comment was, and I'll read it and I'll be like, this is the most harmless comment ever. There's nothing questionable in this. Why in the world would YouTube flag and delete this? So, no, it's a known issue on their part, but I, along with so many other creators, are just in like a panic mode because like I am so worried that people are going to just see that their comment has been deleted, and I don't have any way of, no one on YouTube has any way of directly contacting someone that has commented on their channel, unless they know who that person is on Instagram or other social media or something. Like, I don't have a way of somehow going to this person's, like, it's not like there's a profile that I can go to and message directly. So if someone is brand new to my channel and leaves a comment and then their comment is just gone and they go back and look and just see that their comment is gone with no explanation from me because I can't give one, then I'm afraid that people are gonna think that I'm just shadily blocking them for no reason, or that I have a problem with them, or that I was offended by something they said. And like, that's not a good look for creators either. And it's completely unintentional, and it's nothing that we can do anything about. I've been having this problem for months, and it's gotten so much worse in the past few weeks. I don't know what's going on, but I really, really hope that YouTube gets it figured out, because I don't know. I'm such a sensitive person. I think that the idea of me inadvertently hurting someone else's feelings and I can't even like reach out to them and apologize somehow. So I guess this is sort of my, like, I hope that you're watching. Spread the word. Like, if your comment gets deleted and it just doesn't make any sense that your comment isn't showing up on someone's video anymore, I feel like is very likely YouTube's fault and not like that creator having some secret problem with you. So just wanted to like go ahead and throw that out there and say like, yes, this is a huge problem for me too. And yeah. So like I said, I've heard lots of other creators talk about it lately and want to make sure that I am also bringing attention to this issue for your guys' sake. So, yeah, interestingly, because it did this to one of Laura's comments on my videos a couple months back, I think, Anxiety Art Adventures Laura. And so I saw the notification and the email, and I immediately sent her a message and was like, did you delete this comment? Or did it just, like, do you still see it on your end, or is it just gone? And so she went in and looked and was like, no, it's gone. And so I literally, because I had the email notification with all the text of what she wrote, I just copy and pasted that and sent it to her on Instagram, and she repasted the same exact comment and tried to submit it again. And she messaged me and was like, okay, yeah, it looks like it's there. And then a minute later, oh my gosh, no, it's gone. That's so weird. And so I was able to kind of test it out with her, since I knew who she was, and so I could message her and be like, hey, fellow creator and friend, can we try to troubleshoot this together? Because what the heck? And of course, then that, I think, sent her into kind of a tailspin of worry, like every other creator that I've talked to about this, that's like, oh my gosh, what if people have left these comments and they think that I just never replied or that I just deleted them without saying anything? So, yeah, creators care about their audiences, you guys. So anyway, that was a really, really long, rambling tangent, but this has been on my mind, and I keep forgetting to mention it because my memory is garbage, actual garbage. So yeah. Let's talk for a minute about drills and chills. So some of you actually did guess it in my last WIP and Chat when I kind of teased it and was really vague about it. I was like, well, it's an annual diamond painting event and it's really popular and stuff. And so, yay, you guys were right, drills and chills. So I was so thrilled and flattered when Jessica reached out to me and was like, hey, so this whole co-hosting events thing together is kind of great. Like, how would you like to co-host drills and chills with me this year? And I was like, what? Yes, that would be so fun. I love drills and chills. So in case you're a little bit newer to the diamond painting community and you aren't, I guess, sort of familiar with the history of drills and chills. So Jessica, and this is Tiny Worlds of Wonder, Jessica, she actually co-hosted the very first drills and chills 2 years ago. This is the third year of it. She and Robin of Patty Wax and Distracted by Diamonds, who I believe did used to have a fairly active YouTube channel, but now she's like killing it as a small business owner and bringing us fabulous products like Patty Wax and Distracted by Diamonds diamond paintings. So they hosted together the first year, like the initial like creating and putting on the event. And then last year they were both really, really busy. And so K Diamond Paints, they asked her to step in and host for them. And she super graciously did so and did a fantastic job with it, especially considering that like the scope of the event blew up last year. It had over 1,000 participants, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. So this year we're anticipating and like, I guess hoping, I suppose, but we're planning as though it's going to be a rather popular event again. And so we're trying to plan accordingly for that. But yeah, this year Jessica felt like she had more margin and was, but I think Robin is still super busy. So Jessica reached out and asked me if I wanted to co-host with her. And I was like, yes, that would be so much fun. I love it. And I'm here for it. So we're planning to have out our announcement videos. I think we might do one on each of our channels like we did for the Old Masters event. But I think Saturday is what we're shooting for. Pun, shooting, like as in shooting a film, filming. I'm here all night. I mean, not, yeah, literally, I suppose, because I'm at my house. Okay, it's clearly I've reached a point of silliness because I'm recording this WIP and Chat a little bit later than I usually do in the evening. Anyway, drills and chills. So one of the things that I'm giving you guys like a little sneak peek, I suppose, before that video, we put together that video. But one of the things I'm really trying to brainstorm on a bit is how to be clear about like what canvases are eligible, because it can be kind of I guess it can be kind of a nebulous sort of theme. It's really easy for me to just be like, well, it's something Halloween or fall, like something autumn or spooky, Halloween, Day of the Dead, those kinds of things. But I think that sometimes people they're kind of like, well, what if it's like up to my interpretation? And here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to avoid having to spend an inordinate amount of time answering questions about, does this canvas qualify? Like, does this canvas count? So we're trying to think of a way to like word this and put it so that, like, you know, if there's over 1,000 participants, I don't want to get 100. I'm not gonna have time to like answer 100 questions about, does this canvas qualify? So in my head, I sort of have this barometer, or this like rule that I would think, like, I feel like the rule should be, if a total stranger looks at your kit, looks at the artwork for your kit, they should be able to tell that it somehow relates to autumn or Halloween. I don't know how else to put that. And I'm not trying to be at all rude or unhelpful, but there are other places I'd want to put my energy for the event. And so I'm trying to streamline as much as I can. Now, my good friend Jacqueline, I was chatting with her last night, and she had the idea, and then offered / I elbowed her into helping me with it. But she's like, what if you put together some lists of the different kits from all the different companies that offer licensed artwork that would qualify, that like fit the theme? And I was like, oh my gosh, that is a great idea. Now, while where we've landed is that we are not going to hard and fast require that the kits for this event be licensed artwork, which that has been like a long discussion on our part, and I'll probably try to go into that in a little more depth in another WIP and Chat, like after we've ironed out all of the details and everything. But even though we're not requiring that the artwork be licensed, we're going to strongly encourage it, and we want to make it really easy and accessible for people to find licensed artwork that fits the theme. So Jacqueline has been helping me put together this list of like the different diamond painting companies that have totally legally licensed artwork that have kits that fit this theme. And yeah, we'll put together a list so that we can use it to both answer the question of, does this kit qualify? Like, maybe it'll be helpful to be like, well, here's a list of kits that absolutely do qualify. And then also makes it easier for people that maybe they don't have a kit yet, but they are happy to go and shop for one. And then we can be like, look, here is a whole list of ideas and resources for you to check out. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to word this so that it's, like I said, coherent and makes sense. I'm also in the process of, I'm pretty sure, because there's actually been a huge demand for it from what I've seen so far, I believe that we're going to do a Facebook group element to this year. But here's the thing, like, if and when I put together this Facebook group to have for Drills and Chills, it's just going to be as an information hub, like an option for an information hub in addition to YouTube and Instagram. All of the same information is going to be shared on all platforms. And in order to participate, like in order to enter for the weekly prizes, you're still going to have to comment on the YouTube videos. And in order to enter for the grand prize, you're going to have to fill out a Google form. So the reality is that, like, I can put together a Facebook group and people can use it to, like, if they want to share their progress and finishes and whatever they can, but that doesn't inherently enter them for prizes, you know? So, but I hope it's a way to, like, open up the event to more people. But don't worry, if you're not on Facebook, you're not going to be missing anything whatsoever besides just an additional community that's a place for people to share their projects if they want to. I am not, honestly, I spend very little time on Facebook usually because I don't know, the dynamic in the Facebook groups, in a lot of the Facebook groups anyway, can just not really be like as positive and kind as I normally gravitate towards, like when it comes to community groups. So I just don't find myself spending a lot of time there. And so if and when I do make this Facebook group, which I would be heading up because Jessica isn't like on Facebook at all, which is fine. I just want to figure out how to make it a space that's really respectful and kind, and that, I don't know, just works. And that I and my like mods don't have to spend an inordinate amount of time policing. That's the second time I've used that word in this WIP and Chat. There you have it. Bev commented in one of her recent, I think, lives. She was like, Katie uses such big words in her WIP and Chats and in her videos. And I was like, there's a word for that that I jokingly call myself often, and has become a bit of a like way that my friends tease me, and I'm very self-deprecating about. But yeah, no, I've been called like pretentious before, like in seriousness, from people that really don't care for me and my style, which is fine. And so I've just kind of owned that. I don't know. I read a lot, I suppose. And I think maybe that's where the big vocab words come from. Yeah, anyway. Speaking of Bev, I had... you should be following Bev, by the way, if you aren't already. She's Bev B Diamond Paints. She's hysterical. She will call you a fart face, and it is said with all love and endearment. So don't take it offensively, please. She's super great. Her content is really, really great. And she's actually one of the first people that I went to when I realized, like, oh, I think we're going to have to add a Facebook element to this, because like her job outside of being a content creator, like her main job is working in social media and marketing with companies. And so I sent her a message and I was like, so can I send you some super chats or buy you some coffees so I can have like a consultation with you about how to handle doing a Facebook group? So that'll be fun. But no, you should absolutely be subscribed to Bev. She does lives on Tuesday nights that are always a lot of fun, often highly inappropriate. So if you have children around, you absolutely should be wearing earbuds. And it's mostly it's those of us in the chat's fault, because we just get silly really quickly. But it's not cliquish. It's very open and welcoming to like anyone that wants to come. So don't feel like you have to be a part of like a certain social circle or something to come and hang out. Like, no, it's, Bev is great about being so welcoming of new faces and, making everyone feel like we're all good friends right out the gate. So this past Tuesday, she had someone that's like really, really new to diamond painting and YouTube, having a diamond painting YouTube channel, whose name is Randa. And Randa is super, super sweet. And it was a really fun chance to get to know her. And again, mad props to Bev for like finding people that, might be newer to YouTube and newer to the community and inviting them onto her channel in lives and whatnot to let the rest of us get to know them. So Randa was really cute and made me blush like harder than I think I ever have in my life, because she got really excited to see I was there. And hi, Randa. No, you're really sweet, and I absolutely would love to do a live with you sometime too. So she also has an Etsy shop, which I think that those, maybe the goodies from that maybe came yesterday. So I'll include those in my next small shop haul video. But yeah, speaking of those small shop hauls, I'm really enjoying doing those videos, actually. And I meant to mention in my last video, and just forgot, that if there is a small shop that you find out about and you aren't sure if you want to necessarily spend your money there, and you would like for someone to check it out and review it for you and share it in an unboxing or something like that, feel free to send it to me. Like, hey, I just found this, I think this like new pen turner, or hey, it looks like this is a tray shop and I haven't had the chance to like see anyone else unbox it, or would you unbox it before I decide if I want to buy from there? I'm always completely open to your suggestions on those things, preferably like diamond painting related, but or washi tape. I've had some people suggest washi tape shops, and I want to start maybe shopping around for some good like budget friendly washi tape options, because a few people have asked about some alternatives to Simply Gilded, and ideally I think less expensive options than Simply Gilded that still work well, like, you know, don't want to peel up and stuff like that. So I'm gonna maybe be more intentional about that and do some digging and see what other kinds of washi shops I can find that might be a little bit more budget friendly. I have washi from Daiso, which is a Japanese dollar store, but it does peel back pretty easily. So it's it's really, really inexpensive, but it's not, you know, you have to kind of know what you are getting, like as far as the quality goes. Like you can't have really high expectations for that. But I don't know. I'll do some poking around and see what I can find. So I am really liking this WeWax 3.0. I haven't had to refill and it's picking up really, really easily. I'm excited. And the scent is so good. I don't know if the scent would be a spoiler, so I'm not sharing it. I'm not sure if this is the scent that Laura will be releasing in August, but I'll mention it to you guys after, I suppose, after she announces. Let me see what else is going on. Speaking of going live, I originally was really, really hoping to go live either this past weekend or Tuesday, which when this video goes up, that's going to be tomorrow for you guys. And it just didn't work out. We have been spending a lot of time with Adam's parents because they've been in town, and they have the beach house that they're renting down in Laguna. And so we've been spending a lot of time with them, and they leave on this upcoming Wednesday, so in just a couple of days. And Tuesday evening will be our last evening with them. They're going to come up and have dinner with us. It's possible that they would leave early enough that I could do my like scheduled Tuesday live slot, but I can't commit to that because I don't know what time they're going to leave. And of course, like my family is always going to come first. So we're just going to enjoy that time with them, and I will very genuinely plan to go live either this upcoming Sunday or next Tuesday. I'll be sure to post in the community tab on my channel. And if you turn on notifications, like if you're subscribed, you may or may not have also, like if you hit the bell, you can double check and see. You can always click on it and it'll tell you. If you turn on notifications with the bell and click on all, you'll get notified when I put up community posts, I believe. And that is usually where I try to post that I am planning to go live. And that'll also notify you, like, I think 30 minutes before I go live, and then when I actually go live. So just a quick note to share with you guys. Let's see, let's do, okay. This is the Spirit of Flight with 275 colors. But at this point, I've gotten very, very used to where all of the symbols are in all of my kitting up and all of my organizers. So at least it's pretty quick to find them at this point. I'm glad to have my mojo back for this kit. Like I said, I'm over halfway. This is the second to last section of the 5th column, and there's 8 columns total. So it's moving along. I think I mentioned this. I think I just mentioned it in my Patreon vlog and not here yet. I think I figured out what I'm going to do kit-wise for the next month and a half. I think I have my goal in mind. So here's my thought. It may or may not be doable. We'll see. But my thought is that, okay, so I have this kit going right now. I also have my other Old Masters kit, which is a Crafties custom that I cannot bring myself to reach for. I just have not been in the mood to work on that kit, and I feel so bad. But it's my second, and it'll be my only other kit that I'm doing for the Summer with the Masters event that I'm hosting with Jessica right now. It runs through August 14th. So my goal is to have that custom, that Crafties custom, I want to have that finished by August 14th. Now, these kits, these two Josephine Wall kits that I'm working on, Spirit of Flight, and if you haven't heard about the comparison project I'm doing with the two of these kits, I have a whole playlist dedicated to it, and I will link to it below in the description and not take up a bunch of time describing the whole project here, but it's a lot of fun. I encourage you to go check it out. These two Josephine Wall kits, this comparison project, I think I am going to try to have done by the end of August. I think I want to try to have it done before Drills and Chills kicks off. We will see. That may be a very lofty goal. At the same time, it's moving along, so maybe it's not completely undoable. We'll see. We'll see. That's my tentative goal. And then thrown into the mix of all of this is, at the moment, I am expecting a delivery from Diamond Art Club this upcoming week with my order of a couple of the new releases from not this past weekend, but the weekend before. This one's just taking a little while to get to me. It's fine. That one includes the Clockwork Dragonling from Jasmine Beckett Griffith, aka Strangeling, and that's supposed to be delivered this upcoming Thursday. And that means I'll have more than a week left, well, about a week left in the month of July. That kit is not huge. I bet that I could knock that out before the end of July and participate in the JBG Along, the Jasmine Beckett Griffith event that Lindsay at Emeralds and Fairy Lights and Shay over at Crafting with Shay are hosting this month. So I really love both those girls and would love to participate in their event directly. You've probably heard me mention them and this event already, but I love the idea of being able to support them by also participating. And like I said, the Clockwork Dragonling from Diamond Art Club is not a huge kit, and it's round drills, and when I saw Mrs. Coffee unbox it, it has a lot of color blocking, so I really think there's no reason I couldn't get it done in in a week or less. So as long as UPS delivers it by Thursday is the estimated delivery date at the moment, but maybe with any luck it'll show up sooner maybe. I just hope it doesn't show up later. So that's my thought. I think, again, I know it's kind of a lofty goal, and it will get completely derailed if I burn out on these Josephine Wall kits. Because I did end up having to take a little bit of an unplanned break. It just was sort of incidental. I realized, oh yeah, I did need a break from those kits. Just because I was enjoying working on Pride so much that I just didn't give these any attention for... Come on. I didn't give these any attention for a few weeks, and I was like, oh yes, okay, that was a good break to take. So if I feel like I need to take a break again, then of course there's no way that I'll finish these by the end of August. But I'm feeling momentum. I think because I'm over halfway done, I'm feeling tons of momentum right now, so I'm taking advantage. Yeah, I think I'm getting out of some of the darker colors. There were, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I decided to leave her face for last and hopped over to this side, because look at all of these dark colors. This was not as fun to work on as some of these prettier colors. All these aquas and blues, oh my gosh, they're lovely. So, what else do we have going on? Adam and I got to see Black Widow yesterday. Don't worry, no spoilers, I promise. But Adam's parents came up and watched the kids in the middle of the day, actually. So we did a day date, and we actually went to see it in a theater. I know it's available to watch on Disney Plus if you pay for it, but Adam and I have not been on a date in a movie theater for, I think, since before COVID, like a year and a half. And yeah, we love movies. Like, we love going on movie dates together. And so we really wanted to be able to do that. And so we did. We went and saw it in IMAX even. And we got popcorn and stuffed our faces. And I really loved the movie, actually. So if you're a Marvel fan, I highly recommend it. Also, the season finale of Loki. Again, no spoilers, but oh my gosh. That was so flipping good, and I'm so excited that, like, we're going to get more Tom Hiddleston as Loki because I am obsessed. So, yes, it has been a happy week for this Marvel MCU loving household. Any fellow fans? That's okay. I'm okay if I'm alone. But that was a lot of fun. It was a fun week for those things, but what we have coming up. So Adam's parents, like I said, leave a little bit later this week, and then we don't have any family in town or anything really major happening until we go to Walt Disney World in August. I'm going to plan to film ahead on my videos. We're only going to be gone for 4 nights, but like between packing and like the travel days on either end, I really don't want to have to like also think about filming that week if I can help it. So, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just take a week off. that would be fine too. I'm a little nervous, and I said as much to Adam's mom because Adam's parents and then Adam's sister and her kids, like, we're all meeting in Disney World and spending those, 5 days together. But I did mention to Adam's mom just privately. I haven't brought it up with Adam or his sister or anything yet, but I mentioned to Adam's mom, like, I'm a little bit concerned that this Delta variant might end up affecting our Disney trip because the numbers are spiking so much. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm trying not to think about it just yet. So we're keeping an eye on the numbers and, what the CDC is recommending. And we'll decide. We'll try to make a smart decision because we're, Adam and I are going to be traveling with our young kids who are 3 and 6 and therefore obviously not eligible to get the vaccine right now. And Adam's sister has 2 kids of very similar ages to ours. And we don't want to risk our kids if there is a significant risk. So, or at least what we would define as significant. I know that can vary from person to person. I promise I would really like to not spark a debate here on this particular topic. I'm just making conversation, letting you know kind of what's, going on for us and what we're thinking. But I really hope we can still make it work. But after we get back from Disney World, my mom is coming again. And yes, she was just here last month, but this time she's coming just her. She'll be here over 2 weekends. And I think, her being here may throw a wrench into my ability to finish these Josephine Wall kits. I just realized. Oh boy. That's a whole thing because she sleeps. It's just because of our space. She sleeps on a sleep sofa downstairs in our living area, but like our whole living room and kitchen is sort of like quasi open concept, and I diamond paint on our kitchen table, especially these massive Josephine Wall kits. So if she's sleeping on my couch, I don't know if I'll be able to finish these because she goes to bed earlier than I do. Anyway, that was a random tangent. So what I was going to say was that since my mom is here for 2 weekends, she actually offered to watch the kiddos if Adam and I want to go get away for a night or two. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that would be incredible. I have not gotten away from Micah overnight, like, at all yet. Connor, we did Comic Con a couple of years and did actually, my parents watched him, but then the second Comic Con that we went to, I was like super, super early pregnant with Micah. So no, we haven't really done an overnight getaway without, like, away from our kids, like without Micah in particular. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking ahead and wondering, like, we could do an overnight, like, down in San Diego. We could go up to, like, Big Bear or Lake Arrowhead. Like, there's lots of places we could totally go and just get away for even just one night. But that would be really, really nice if we could do that. And I appreciate that my mom is completely willing to be like, yeah, I'll hang with the kids. It's so nice that they're at an age where that's not a huge deal. Because for the longest time, because I've nursed both of my kids, like, it was a big deal if I was away from them. Like, I'd have to pump, or there was this whole stress about, like, will they take a bottle? Like, what's the whole feeding schedule? Like, they're just so highly dependent when they're so little. It's nice, like, that as the older they get, the, like, less intense, highly dependent they are on you. And, like, that's bittersweet, of course. Like, I miss, like, there's a lot of things about the newborn stage, but there's a whole lot that I do not miss about that, like, pre-first birthday age, because the sheer exhaustion, for one. Because neither of my kids slept through the night without a little bit of extra help, but that's another story for another day. There was something else I was going to mention that was really interesting for me. So I've mentioned before that I started, let me see where we're at on time. Okay, yeah, this is wrapping up here. I mentioned before that I had finally, after, like, years of intending to, and lots of mental blocks, and I'm sure depression and anxiety playing a factor, I finally got into individual one-on-one therapy. And I had a really good conversation with my therapist last week, and really dug into how the way that our family communicated when we were children, like, how profound an impact that really can have on how you communicate and function as an adult. And I sort of, like, I always assumed as much, because that was something that Adam and I recognized really early on in our marriage in particular. And this applies to all kinds of friendships and relationships, not just, like, a romantic relationship. But just in this particular context, like, Adam and I were very well aware and talked about early on the difficulty that came with the fact that our families, our respective families, had polar opposite communication styles when we were growing up, like when we were kids. And even, I suppose, even into present day a bit, our families do communicate differently. My family growing up, it could be very, very, very passive and passive aggressive. There was a lot of, like, we don't talk about conflict. Like, there's, you bottle it up, you go and deal with it privately, and then everyone kind of puts on a happy face and, like, you just sort of deal with it internally, And to a certain extent, like, it can be okay to process and deal with negative emotions internally. Like, if it's the kind of thing that is just something you personally need to deal with before you can move on, that's one thing. But, the grand majority of the time, like, a passive-aggressive style of dealing with conflict is not productive. It just isn't. On the other hand, and I, just out of respect for his family, I'm certainly not going to go into much detail, but I'll just say that Adam's family was very, very, very much the opposite. So that's been something that we've been aware of and learning from for forever, for as long as we've been together. But it was so interesting to me because my therapist was really like, because I was just sort of nodding along like, yeah, like the way that you communicate as a kid obviously affects how you communicate as an adult. And she's like, but it goes deeper than that. And I'm not your therapist, by the way. I'm not trying to be a therapist. I'm not like a professional or anything like that. I'm just wanting to share interesting information, but please don't take this as medical advice or therapy. But it was fascinating. She was like, no. It goes deeper than that. It literally goes to like how your brain has been wired and what triggers stress responses in you in ways that you can't necessarily control. And I was like, wait, hold up, say what? I was like, but I'm aware of it, so that's what I need to know, right? And she's like, no, it has to do with how your brain chemistry works and what happens when your body, like when a stress response is triggered and how you respond to that. Like it's sort of that flight or fight. Words are hard. Or like appease or freeze, like there's all of these like fun buzzwords for it. But it was just so interesting to me, the idea that there's something that happens on a much deeper level that like literally your brain has been conditioned and wired to respond to stress in these really specific ways that are not as simple to like break out of as just knowing like, oh hey, yeah, this is a tendency I have. But that it can go a lot deeper than that. And I thought that was fascinating. And so I'm just like, I'm taking notes, I'm like journaling away. And she's like, yeah, this will be something to dig into. And it was, I think, good perspective. I think it was helpful for me to know that and to be able to share with Adam as well. And I don't know, I love this kind of thing. I love digging into like why our minds operate the way that they do. And all in the interest of growth. Like for me, it's all based in a growth mindset. Like I want to learn more because then I can improve. Like I want to be really introspective because I can use that for bettering myself and like knowing better so that I can take better care of the people in my life. I'm a very stereotypical Enneagram type 5. If you're an Enneagram personality test type of person. And if you are an Enneagram person, let me know because I'm kind of in the mood to like talk about the Enneagram again and go down the rabbit hole of podcasts and everything on that whole topic. But yeah, I think personality tests are fascinating, specifically as a tool, not as an excuse for bad behavior. And not as an excuse to not grow, but more as another way to learn more about yourself and about other people. Like I get annoyed when people try to use personality tests as an excuse for like getting out of like doing something or getting out of like, I don't know, responsibility for like not being kind or something like that. I don't like when people are like, oh, I'm just an extrovert, so this is just how I am. It's that kind of thing bothers me. I'm more of when I recognize that I'm an introvert, I understand the whole concept of I derive my energy from being by myself. That helps me recharge. But recognizing that Adam is an extrovert and he feels like his energy comes from being around other people and being out, and that's life-giving to him and energy-giving to him. For me, that takes energy. And it's just a way to sort of shorthand something you already know about yourself so that you can figure out, okay, let's find the middle ground. Like, now that I understand this about you and I understand this about me, now we can have a more productive conversation about, okay, now how do we want to handle, like, how often are we going to socialize and what that's going to look like? I'm curious to hear if any of you can relate to that sort of thing, either specifically with, like, being an introvert who is close with an extrovert, either in a romantic relationship or a friendship or a family relationship, or if you just find this kind of thing really fascinating like I do, and see it similarly. So anyway, we're getting really close to the hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. We got a little dent in. You can see like how crazy confetti heavy this is, that literally this is all that I've gotten done in this section in an hour. These like 5x5 sections usually take me 3 to 4 hours to finish, depending on if this actually had some tiny bits of color blocking in it. So it just depends, but these easily take me 3 or 4 times as long to complete than the equivalent section of the Diamond Art Club version of this piece. So yes. And there are math. Okay, so 8 columns by 6 rows. So there's 48 sections total in this whole canvas, and each one of those is taking me 3 to 4 hours. So yeah. But we're coming along. We're getting there. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I am loving the WeWax 3.0. I didn't have to refill at all, and it's not having trouble picking up any drills. So yay, love it, Laura. I'll share more thoughts with you as I keep working with it. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this WIP and Chat tonight. I really enjoyed getting to chat with all of you. I will have plenty of videos coming up this week. I have a mountain of unboxings to do, so this might just be an unboxing like week, like a daily unboxing. So look for those. But if you made it all the way to the end, what in the world should we do for our emoji if you made it all the way to the end? How about something blue? Because that's basically the theme of the colors in this section. If you happen to make it all the way to the end and you want to leave a comment, throw in an emoji that has blue in it somewhere. That's even the pen is on theme. Oh, I love that. All right. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your weekend was, any fun plans you have coming up for the week, and or you can let me know what project you were working on. Yeah, I'd love to hear about it. So anyway, I hope you have a really, really wonderful week. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please give a thumbs up before you head on about your day. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, especially if you made it all the way to the end. You will probably enjoy it here. So, all right, my friends, have a really great week again, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.